Hello, beautiful. I'm here at my community garden and I'm going to weed this rhubarb patch and talk a bit about life stuff. So just because I decided to start filming now, the whole world decided it's time to mow their lawn. But hopefully hearing the birds makes up for it. So life stuff. I was thinking about a whole lot of life stuff that I don't want to talk about. And then I want to make myself better, feel better, because I have all this life stuff that I don't want to talk about. So then I go back to God, to Source, to whatever you want to call that. That more bigger than little 3D me part of me. And so I thought I'd share with you what I think God is, what I think God is, how I feel about God, the universe, whatever you want to call it. I don't really worry about the labels too much, but I do feel like there's divine feminine and divine masculine, and that's what I'm reaching for. And in my moments of sort of, not feeling so good, but also feeling the gratitude when I am feeling good. So my sort of, not exactly vision or picture, because it's not like a physical thing, but like what the divine masculine is to me is like I always think of like a trust fall. I don't know if people do those anymore, but it was where you'd fall back and a group of people would catch you, but way more gentle. Like I could just lean back and I would be held. I wouldn't even feel myself land on anything. I'd just be enveloped in a big hug. So that's yeah. So for me, the divine masculine isn't even someone I really talk to or anything. It's more just a feeling of being okay, of being held, of regardless of what's going on in the world, I'll be okay, I'll be loved, I'll be held. Yeah. So it's and so simple. I always find that the good stuff is simple. For me, I mean, you might choose to have a more complicated God than that. But yeah, that's me. And then I look at divine feminine and she's in me and part of me and she's everything everywhere. And not being here in this garden with so much flourishing nature. I wanted to put you on a better angle because you can see all the compost bins, but the ground is all uneven and it wasn't happening for me. So I just yeah put you where there was a bit of flat ground. And, but I'll show you other bits other times. So divine feminine, she's so huge. Nature, which is, we feel like we're separate from nature, or we can do, but we are nature, which is so magical and mystical. And just watching a plant grow. I mean, you're not going to sit and watch a plant grow, but you know how a plant grows, and like starting from a seed, and then just the amazement of a seed and how much is in a seed, and the ongoing nature of a seed and what that provides for us, whether it's a physical seed or a metaphysical seed, any sort of, yeah, anything. So yeah, so I'm here at my community garden, and part of what I love about being here is I feel so connected and peaceful when I'm here. So I'm pulling out, this is mainly buttercup, and it takes over everything. You might think you want them so you can tell if you like butter, but I don't know. Don't like it. Don't want it. But here it is anyway. So partly why I've started filming up here is because I love when stuff is multi-purpose. I so love it. And so coming up here, I get to fill my soul and get some gardening done, which serves me, serves the community, and make a video and help other people in that way. It just, I love it when, you hear about like win-lose or win-win, but once something's win-win, it just seems like it just, like nature just keeps going, and it's just win-win-win-win-win-win-win, just eternally winning. I love it, love it, love it, love it. And I just, in my trying to soothe myself just before I was listening to an Abraham Hicks thing, and her sort of their thing with, reach for a better feeling forward, and sometimes it can be hard to do. But, and go, then she says go general, and it's like, yes, I can think about random stuff. Look how beautiful the sky is. Can you see it? No, you can't see the sky. Actually, it's quite grey. No, it's so beautiful. And it's good lighting. Because when it's, the full sun, it's quite glary. And either I'd have my visor on, or it would be really, I don't know if it would work. I'd have to, I don't know, do a different part of the garden or something. So this is a rhubarb patch that I'm weeding here, and it's been going for a really long time. And I don't always look after it that well because it is right up the back of the garden. Oh, here's some, special needs kids are here. They've got a bed up the front. So I might just go and say hello to them. I'm not sure if I'll come back again. Why? Oh, they're not here. Oh, they just came for a very brief visit. Oh, well. I've got a really awesome bed up the front. I'm down the back of the garden. And lots of just grassy stuff. That's not so bad. But yeah, so the rhubarb patch, I, if it's lucky, I weed and feed it about once a year. So I'm doing that. Because our other beds, we have a lot more variation in, but this one's been a rhubarb patch for a really long time. So yeah, all I'm going to do is pull out all these weeds and cover it in straw, and that's sort of putting it to bed for the winter. Although it is still growing, you might not be able to see them very well at the moment, but there are stalks of it growing. And there weren't a few weeks ago. So hopefully it'll keep growing quite fast. You probably can't hear while the plane's going over. So I love that it's still growing because it might be what sees me through after our feijoas are finished. I haven't even been that into feijoas the last couple of years, but we had such a good apple year here this year that I was getting into eating them. And then when they were finished, the feijoas was what sort of helped me through coping with not being able to eat apples anymore. Mm. When I first came to this garden, it was 12 or 13 years ago, and it was a couple of years old then. And I do that thing that probably you do too, like most of us probably do, of, feeling like I haven't got far enough in life, whatever. But yeah, when I first came here, I was a very busy person. I was always working at least 2 jobs. I supporting my husband in his creative activities and raising a child, and I was really overweight. I was on antidepressants and painkillers, and I had a lot of health issues because of my weight. And I'm not saying coming to the community garden cured me of any of that, but it was a significant part of my journey. Being here is a significant part of my journey in that it's a place that I can come, whether I'm with other people while I'm here or not. It never used to, I'd never thought of it as a spiritual place 12 years ago. I didn't really sort of think about spirit. Did I think about spirit at all? I think I did in a sort of outside of me sort of way. So I think I'm telling you that to sort of tell you where I came from. That I'm not, this guru, because I think sometimes I come across as a very relaxed person, and like I always have been, and I haven't. I'd say generally I am a very relaxed person, but I've worked hard. I've, filled filled my life up with busy, 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 and then stopped. And when I stopped, felt just so much sadness that I couldn't cope with it. Felt like I needed to medicate that away. But on my journey, part of why I tell you that I was very overweight is not because I'm doing a sort of like, wow, look at my transformation, because that's actually something I've found the more that I've looked at it, the more I'm not into that sort of transformation thing of, look, I was this and now I'm amazing. That's true. But But for me, losing weight was really thrusted, I think. No, I don't think. Anyway, part of my problem with being overweight was that I had really bad knees, and I couldn't. And so I wanted the health system to fix me. I thought I might get a knee replacement or at least a cortisol injection, but I was having really severe knee problems that would just so I couldn't walk for a few days because my knee hurt so much. And it was no fun. And so I went through the hospital system and also with my GP. I turned up at my GP one time in a wheelchair, and she was like, I've told you before you have to lose weight, and it crushed me because she hadn't told me that before, which was why I'd stuck with her really, because I didn't want to lecture on losing weight, and I had that from other doctors, and I felt very kicked while I was down by that. But anyway, she sent me off to the hospital for scans and stuff, and then the surgeon there told me that there was nothing they could do with me. I had to lose weight. And I just like, all these people were telling me I had to lose weight and I didn't know how. And because people always said, that's diet and exercise. And I was like, hardly eating anything, exercising as much as I could, and still putting on weight. It was miserable. But I was still, I had my beautiful child that I wanted to be happy for and all the stuff going on. So I set about finding a way, and luckily by this stage, we had Google, which helped me a lot. I was like determined, I'm going to find a way to lose weight that isn't eat less and exercise more, because I know that is just makes me miserable and put on weight. And so I did a lot of research, and it took me ages to get there. And I know everyone's all keto now, and it's really, popular and stuff. But I'd never heard of it at the time. And so I decided to give it a go. And it was such a radical shift for me. I didn't know if I would survive a day without carbs. I was like, maybe I could try it, but carbs were sort of all I was eating because I thought I didn't want to eat fat because I'd get fat. And, everything seemed so calorie dense except for bread. That was sort of my theory at the time, and vegetables. But yeah, I was just a bit hungry and miserable all the time, really. So anyway, so I found keto and thought, well, I'll try it for a day and see if I survive. And I survived, and I found some yummy food that I could eat. And this whole concept of, sorry, I just thought I heard someone, whole concept of being allowed to eat fat. That was crazy to me. I was just like, well, I'll try it. I had nothing to lose. And I thought if I try it for a while, then if I keep putting on weight, I'll know that that's the same as every other bloody diet. So I gave it a go, started losing weight, liked it, found that I could survive without eating the carbs. Everyone around me thought I was crazy and were like, oh, you've got to be careful. And there was a lot of unsupport around me at the time. So But I was just found just in myself, as soon as I started eating fat, actually, my joints started feeling better because I had problems in pretty much all my joints and my back and everything. And I'd always, gone to the medical system and gone to osteopaths or, had medical treatment for my things. But I found, I can move more easily. And my weight loss was quite steady. So, yeah, it was great actually. And I was enjoying it. And there was all this food that now I had permission to eat that I hadn't been allowed to eat before because I'd get fat. And I'd find ways of food that I wanted to eat, find sort of keto alternatives to it. And so I really enjoyed studying, because I just looked at heaps of information about it and, decided what I'd take and what I wouldn't. And I was really worried about the cost of it because it seemed like all this, the protein and the fat are heaps more expensive than the carbs. But then I changed my way of thinking, and one of my things now about carbs is that they're just the packaging, you know. Like if it's a sandwich, it's not about the bread. I know sometimes it is about the bread, but it's about the filling. It's like, you might eat a cream cheese and salmon bagel, but if you just eat the salmon and the cream cheese, that's the yummy bit. So I did. I think actually just what's generally out there now is way better than it was certainly 12 years ago. Though it wasn't 12 years ago that I started down the keto track. It was a bit after that. Yeah, it was 9 years ago because I remember I used to sort of joke that it took me 10 years to lose baby fat after having a baby. Yeah. How's my angle on there? Oh, that's all right. Um, so, yeah, if you are looking at health, yay, look. And actually, what it taught me the most, I think, is that I'm in control of my body, of my health, because my health improved so much in so many ways that I didn't think were related to my weight. Well, not just to my weight though, but to my way of eating. Because I used to have hay fever, and that disappeared. And I used to get headaches every evening. And I had all the PCOS and metabolic syndrome, which were actually only things that I found out about when I went on my looking after my own health journey, which I really wouldn't have gone on if they'd fixed my knee for me. I'd had lots of stuff fixed before. Yeah, my back, my, taking the pills for hay fever, taking the painkillers, all the stuff. Not getting pregnant when I wanted to. I would have had a different life if I'd found out sooner. Not that I don't regret anything. I'm not saying, I wish I could go back and do it all again. But it was just sort of the time that I found all this out. I was past the childbearing years. So, maybe more children just weren't meant to come through me. I don't know. I don't like delving into that too much, actually. because I do have one very fabulous child, nearly 19-year-old, and she is a very fabulous human, and I'm very blessed to have her in my life. I have a lovely little family. I don't always feel like I do. Sometimes actually, a thing I've been with a bit lately is with my relationship with my husband. Sometimes we um, get a bit feisty, and what I mean by that is, we get all have a few big fights and stuff. Not physical fights, but yeah, it can all get very emotional and sometimes quite nasty and stuff. And it made me sort of think of sometimes you see uh, old people and they're like, oh, we've never had a fight in our life. I'm like, I wouldn't want that relationship, but actually I'm okay with it not being. I don't really believe in perfect, but if I couldn't have a rage every now and then, I don't know. I feel the need to have a rage every now and then. And I want my marriage to be passionate, not oh, we're nice to each other all the time. And I also, we've been together for 34 years, and I think I have some theories on relationships, and one of them is that whether you have one partner or however many partners you have, however many marriages you have, whatever, you're still going to learn the same lessons. So it's up to you whether you learn them with one person or learn them with lots of people. And I think I'm liking learning them with one. And I don't always feel that way. I feel like I've covered a lot of ground and I don't know how long I've been talking for. I haven't covered a lot of ground physically. Not even split the job up over different days. I could also just shut up for a while and let you listen to the birds and the various motors around the place. think I'm going to wrap up the video there. And thank you for being with me. I hope that I was in some way helpful to you. And thank you so much for listening to the end. Really means a lot to me, and I'd love to hear from you. I don't know if you got anything out of this, what you got out of it. Yeah. I should talk more or talk less. Mm. It's amazing how many motors there are today. Yeah, thank you for being with me. Like and subscribe and all the stuff. That'll be really awesome. Thanks. Okay. See you next time.